Guess what, folks? Jeannie Mai and Jeezy are calling it quits. Can you believe it? What's your guess? Is it just a bump in the road or the end of the line for this celeb couple? Okay, folks, gather around because there's some unexpected news in the world of celebrities. Jeannie Mai, who you might know from The Real, and Jeezy the rapper are going their separate ways. Yep, that's right. They're getting a divorce, and it's turning quite a few heads because they seemed like such a happy couple. Now let's break it down for you. Jeezy, the guy behind those catchy songs and numerous albums, filed for divorce in Atlanta, Georgia. They'd been married for 2.5 years and had even sorted out a prenuptial agreement. In his filing, Jeezy mentioned that they're living apart and that their marriage has hit a point where it can't be fixed. He also wants to share custody of their 1-year-old daughter, Monaco. The news of their split came as a shock to just about everyone. I mean, think about it. They only got hitched in March 2021 at their home in Atlanta and welcomed little Monaco in January 2022. So, it's got people scratching their heads wondering what went wrong. It's not just that, though. Just a few months back, they were celebrating their second wedding anniversary with a big surprise trip to Vietnam. Jeannie Mai had planned the whole thing for Jeezy, and they seemed so in love. So it's all a bit puzzling. People on the internet can't stop talking about it. Some folks are saying things like, I just read about Hugh Jackman's divorce, and now this? I was expecting baby news, not a divorce. How sad. It just goes to show that even in the world of celebrities, things aren't always what they seem. Life can throw curveballs at anyone, even famous couples like Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. Now, you might be wondering how something like this could happen, right? Well, you're not alone. The news of Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's divorce has left fans and followers with lots of questions. First things first, the news didn't quietly slip out. It exploded across the internet. Everyone from blogs to big-time media outlets picked it up, and suddenly, it was everywhere you looked. Just a few hours ago, most of us thought Jeezy had it all. Hit records, collaborations with stars like Kanye and Rihanna, and a solid 9 studio albums to his name. Plus, he had the stunning Jeannie Mai by his side. You look at the guy, and it seems like he's got life all figured out. But here's the twist. Recent reports have pulled back the curtain, revealing that maybe things weren't as peachy as they seemed. In fact, it looks like this couple was dealing with some pretty serious issues behind closed doors. And as for Jeezy, well, it turns out he might not be the saint we all thought he was. Don't worry about nothing, he once said. But it seems there might have been something to worry about after all. So, how did it all happen? Well, the plot thickens. It turns out that they sent a letter to the label, and it wasn't any ordinary letter. It was a letter redirecting money from the company straight to Jeezy himself. Now that's the kind of thing that can stir up a storm in a marriage. Please don't forget to hit that like button to cheer me up. Most celebrity divorces don't usually announce themselves with a megaphone. Celebs tend to keep their private lives, well, private. But Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's situation is different. They seemed so solid from the outside that this divorce news hit us like a bolt from the blue. Here's the thing. Jeezy's had his fair share of ups and downs in the romance department before, so some might say they saw this coming. But for many of us, it was a shocker. The big question on everyone's mind is, what happened? You know, how did a couple who just celebrated their second wedding anniversary with a fabulous surprise trip to Vietnam end up here? It's a head-scratcher for sure. So, what's the bottom line here? Well, it's a wake-up call that even in the glittering world of fame and fortune, relationships can be complicated. The love stories we see in the headlines don't always have the happy endings we hope for. It's a reminder that life can be unpredictable, and it's all part of the human experience. As we follow the twists and turns of Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's journey, one thing's for sure, there's more to their story than meets the eye. Now the rumor mill is churning, and there are all kinds of speculations about what might have gone down between them. Some say it could be something Jeannie Mai said that pushed Jeezy over the edge. But guess what? It might not be that simple. You see, Jeezy's got a bit of a history when it comes to relationships. Before his romance with Jeannie Mai, Jeezy was linked to R&B singer Keisha Cole. These two reportedly dated for a solid 2 years from 2005 to 2007. But here's the twist. They kept their relationship super private, like under lock and key. It wasn't until later that we found out that it was Jeezy's call to keep things hush-hush. But here's where it gets juicy. After their breakup, they had very different stories to tell. Jeezy claimed Keisha asked him to marry her and even bought a ring. He said, "I was grown enough to tell her, look, baby, that isn't what it is right now. I'm trying to get my act together. Get my money, take care of me and mine." Keisha Cole, on the other hand, had a different version of the story. She said it was Jeezy who proposed to her, and she felt the pressure even though she loved him. "I was scared," she admitted. "I'm just not ready for that. I'm not done with my goals in life. I just couldn't submit." So their relationship ended in a tangled web of conflicting stories. But wait, there's more. Jeezy's not just got a complicated love life. His business side has a few shadows too. There have been reports of him getting into conflicts with his record label and even lawsuits. Just a couple of years back, one of his former business partners sued him and Def Jam for millions of dollars in unpaid profits, royalties, and advances. The partner, Demetrius Ellerby, claimed that since they started CTE Music together in 2000, he deserved half of the profits. But it didn't stop there. Ellerby accused Jeezy of intentionally moving money into personal accounts to dodge payments. Ellerby wanted the world to know who Jeezy really was. In a recent interview, Ellerby shared some insights into their falling out. It seems like their business relationship took a turn for the worse, and they both felt sidelined. It's like they started out as partners but ended up on opposite sides of the ring. What's your reaction to this news? Let's discuss in the comments. So when we look at Jeezy's past, both in relationships and business, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could there be more to the story of his breakup with Jeannie Mai than meets the eye? It's like peeling back layers of an onion. There's always more to discover. And that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.